Hello, everybody, and welcome to Magical Monday. My name is Bonnie D, and I'll be channeling cards today. Before I begin, I want to let everybody know what's been going on with me because I think I'm supposed to share this. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to share this. You know, if you've been following me for a while, that I did the Dark Night of the Soul for my past. I released everything with love and I got through that, because we have to forgive the past as the child, the injured child, the one on the side of the road. Uh, we have to get over that tragedy before we can go on with other things that are going to happen in our lives. Um, a lot of people have a lot of tragedies in their lives, and people don't realize it, and it's really sad, but it happens. And recently, um, we had a tragedy in our lives, me and my brother and my stepmother and all of us. My father was 91 years old, and he went into a nursing home type thing to get over the situation, and then he was going to come home that he was going through. And meanwhile, my mother and father are divorced. They've been divorced for since 1978, but they had three children. My older brother's passed. He was stabbed to death in California. And there's me and my brother and his daughter and her kids, and that's it. And me and my dad and mom. So my dad went in there, and then all of a sudden, my mother seemed like she got pneumonia back. She lives with my brother, and they live right down the road from each other. Basically, at this point, with my mother had dementia, and my father had the onsets of dementia. That they were both kind of getting ready to pass, and we were trying to figure it out. All of us are trying to med beds, something that saves them. I want my parents around forever. We all do. We loved our parents. We had great parents. So my mom ended up in the hospital with pneumonia, and meanwhile, my father was not getting better. He was not coming awake. And my stepmother said he squeezed her hand, so he kind of knew what was going on. But I finally got to call him. My brother called me, and he says, "Fawn, you have to talk to Dad," because my dad can't hear very good. He can't see very good. So anybody on the phone, he really couldn't hear because he loses his hearing aids and then he can't hear you. So I hadn't talked to my dad really in about a year and a half because he couldn't hear me. So Eric says, "You need to talk to Dad. I think he's passing." And I said, "Okay, put the phone up to him." So I yelled. I yelled it basically. And I told him, "Dad, we love you so much. If you're ready to go, go." And meanwhile, he opened his eyes. My brother says, "Oh my God, he opened his eyes. Why?" And he said, "He did." I said, "Put the phone up there again." So I said to him, I said, "Dad, we love you so much. You know I do." I said, "You have three pictures in your wallet you've always carried. One of me in school when I was 13, one of Patches, our pit bull, and one of Precious, our other pit bull. That's where your heart was." And I said, "I love you. And if you have to go, go." So then after that, my father's still in the hospital. My mother goes into the hospital. And she doesn't, my dogs are barking again. So meanwhile, oh my gosh. Anyway, meanwhile, that was happening. My father in the hospital, and then my mother was in the hospital. She had water in her lungs, and they had drained her lung, and it collapsed. So they were waiting to redo the lung, put fluid in her or water or whatever they do. And she took a turn for the worst. And she had cancer all through her, they said. And she had a blood clot on the heart valve. and she had blood clots all through her lungs. So there wasn't nothing they could do for my mother. And my father and her were both in the same Meadville hospital. My dad was at the other place at that point, the rehabilitation, and my mother was still in the hospital. So, as my brother held the phone up and I was talking to my father, he actually opened his eyes 3 times wide and he smiled. And my brother says, "You know what? I am so glad we called you because he hasn't done anything. And I knew he would for you because you were his little girl." And he says, my brother says, "I'll always remember that last look with his eyes wide open and that smirk, that smile." And then uh, that was on February 1st, my dad passed. And as we're getting over that, which we're not getting over it, as we're trying to go through that, my mother passed. And my brother was with her and gave her a kiss. And I was on the phone, so she probably thought we were both together. And we both said, "Mom, go to dad. He's waiting for you." And I had asked my dad, "Go help mom. She needs you. She needs to, you need to help her across." So on February 7th, my mother passed. We could not believe that they passed away on the same week. And the sevens were everywhere. My mother was July 16th, 1940. You know, the 16 is a 7. Me and my husband and I were were married on the 7th of June. Uh, my husband's birthday is the 7th. We just got sevens everywhere. My dad, there were sevens within him. And I looked up the meaning of the 7. And it said deep spiritual connectedness, spiritual awareness, alignment with your higher purpose. See, that's what I did. When I went through the dark night of the soul back, uh, I started in like 2019. And it took me almost a year to figure it out that I had to meditate. I had to listen from within. I had to get ready for what this 3D life was going to show me because I was a crybaby. I was very delicate, very don't show me any boogeyman, don't give me anything negative, blah, 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 blah. Well, you have to have negative. It's polarity. You're going to have negative and positive. So when I got through my child dark night of the soul by releasing and forgiving, by that time, now I'm working on my now space, dark night of the soul. It's because, like I said, we'll always have a dark night of the soul, but how we handle it and how we do it, guess what? It's up to us. We have to be able to figure out what we can do. And I 8 years ago, if this would have happened, I probably would have lost it and been in a nut house. I would have cried so hard. I would have just dropped out of life. I know me. Dropped out of life, and I probably would have been just a vegetable. Who the hell knows? But I got prepared for this. I became stronger than I ever thought I could be from within. Because guess what? I have talked to Source, which is our creator, which is God, which is all there is and all there ever was. It doesn't matter what we call. It doesn't matter as long as we listen and call, as long as we listen to what uh, mother, father, and our brother are going to say, which is the father, son, and the mother. I'm not playing the Holy Ghost part. They ghosted the mother. There has to, if our creator made us, okay, in the image of him, I'm going to say them, that means there's a father, which is the courage, a mother, which is the compassion, and a son, a brother, a sister, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter what sex it is, because it doesn't matter if they're what sex it is. That is what we have to connect to. we have to be able to release the now space when it comes. And I really worked on my triggers. It's just one thing I can say is meditation is first, because I get that everybody's praying, and prayer is beautiful. I'm not against prayer. I'm not into the satanic crap of any kind. Okay. Bypass me there. I am into love, light, triggering, and trying to deal with your life as a 3D avatar body with your amazing soul inside of it. So right now we're just kind of in a loss. I have broke down and cried really hard a couple times. Yesterday I was crying really hard, and all of a sudden my phone rang, and I looked over, it said dad, and that would be my stepmother. I am going to keep it dad, because when she calls me, I will know it is a sign from my dad. And it was to say, Fawn, we're really friggin' happy. We're celebrating. And our avatar was dying, and we had to get out of it. We raised you the way we needed to raise you, because you're going to be who you want to be. And you're going to be who you need to be, because we have confidence in you. And I was just like, and this is coming to me, and I'm thinking, wow, you know, he's right. He raised a strong daughter, and my mother raised a good daughter. I had we all have our bad times when we're young. Did I get over that shit? But my life now is me feeling good again in my avatar. It's about me loving myself in my avatar. And it's about me helping people in this avatar. So I'm getting it. And spoke with my brother this morning, and he is being so strong. And I told him, because I sound like my mother on the phone. And I said, anytime you need a mama, I'm here, baby. And he knows. And I just love him to death. So I'm getting through it one deep breath at a time, but I did see a beautiful dream. I am dreaming of them, and they're so happy. They're celebrating. I've seen my great grandmother with them, and her mother, and my father's brother, and just all of them. Just they're happy. So that's my story, and I'm not going to keep you guys with this story, but I just feel that there's going to be people that pass in our life, and we have to know how to deal with it. And we have to realize that they went to a beautiful place, not a scary place. I don't think there is a hell. I really feel that there is not a heaven or not a hell. There is another dimension that could be like a hell or a heaven, but it's polarity. It's positive, negative. You have to balance them out. When they come to you, you have to figure out how to balance them out. So with that being said, we're going to go on. Now, today is 210 of 2025, and it's a 12, which goes down to a 3, which is a divine message. We've had a lot of divine messages, and I think the divine messages are coming for all of us. We have to get prepared on what's going to happen when we awaken completely. Okay, because there is a lot of things that I'm sure I'm sleeping on and I'm not getting yet, but I will. We will get it. Okay, I am going to read the Soul Helper Oracle. Now, my energy is on these cards a lot, but because we are all one, but yet we're single, other people might be going through the same thing as me, or have been through the same thing as me and my brother, or are going to get ready to. So it's a learning lesson. Okay, now I'm going to read the 3 before I read the card that came with this, because that'll give us an idea. I know where this reading is going, and I know what you need to hear. Number 3 indicates that now is a good time to take care of your soul families, both in this world and in others. Make contact and tell them that you love and need them. They will hear you. You will find strength, healing, and answers among those closely connected to you. This number teaches you to look at everything, to become an observer, and wisdom will come. Number three's energy field brings about diversity, creativity, creative energy, the overcoming of duality, and understanding and seeing the world of the divine. That is exactly what I just said in a different metaphor. We are going to see some amazing things, and we are going to see some really rough things. We are going to feel some sad moments, and we're going to feel some happy moments. And we have to realize how to control our triggers right now, because we're going to a beautiful place. We are going to be creating our beautiful spot, our Zen moment, our beautiful meditation gardens, the things that we need to conquer and get out of the 3D train of thinking. Now we got number 23, and as I've been saying, my father always called me his little rebel without a cause. But you know what? Now I have a cause. I have people out there that need to hear me, even if it's only one, then that will make my day. Release your inner rebel, be yourself, and create your own universe. And this is a 5, and that is change. The heart of a rebel beats within us all. We understand Lilith and her urge for self-determination and freedom because we have already felt this impulse. And at the moment, you feel it strongly too. If you are not familiar with the story of Lilith, here is a brief outline. God originally created Adam and gave him a wife as a companion. According to the Talmud, this first wife was called Lilith, and she was of equal birth, self-confident, proud, and a free woman. She refused to serve Adam and wanted to be in a dominant position when they made love, which displeased Adam. He wanted to dominate her, and an argument ensued. Lilith spoke the secret name of the Lord, which resonated full of magic, and parted from Adam, leaving him as free and self-determined woman. It is said that she had many children, but lost them as a punishment for her disobedience and individualism. Lilith wanted to be free. She was not meant for a small world. You have drawn the Lilith card because you too need more space and freedom for yourself. Emerge from your constraints cocoon. You are a child of Lilith. All witches, shamans, and healers, all wise men and women, all those to whom knowledge is given, have a spiritual connection to Lilith. Who wants to oppress you? Who wants to take your place? Who is crossing boundaries? Rebuke them, but clearly and with love, since people are sometimes unaware of their incorrect behavior. Follow the path of your soul and path of freedom, and pay no attention to the complaints and criticism of others. They do not know that you can create your own universe. Your helpers for the next 21 days, the power animal is the condor. The herbal essence oil is jasmine. Healing crystal is a 5 or an emerald, and the number is 5. You know, this kind of reminds me of my mother and father and me. And the butterfly is amazing. It's freedom. It's out of the cocoon and it's flying free, but also has the beautiful blue morning glories up here at the top. And that would be my mother telling me that, Fawn, I see the morning glories again. I see the beauty. Be that little rebel without a cause. Because my mother's grandmother, which was my great grandmother, used to call her her little morning glory. And my husband made a flower box for my mother and it said, "Good morning, morning glory." So the morning glory to me symbolizes my mother, and my mother was an amazing matriarch of a family, but she wanted to be free, and she never remarried. My father did as for a companion, but my mother never remarried. I'm kind of glad. I don't know if I would have wanted to deal with a stepdad because sometimes they can be bad and sometimes good. We got a pretty good stepmother. Okay, now the number 5 tells you that you have a deep connection with the divine source and that nothing can prevent wisdom from finding its way to you. Your current priorities are fidelity, reliability, and loyalty. Focus on them and concentrate on healing them in both the world outside and your inner world. Number 5 brings protection, giving you the freedom to act more boldly. Its energy field is centering, bringing the strength that always recognizes and recreates itself at the end of a soul path, along with meditation, belief, and insight. I really feel that we are all stepping out of that cocoon right now, and we are blooming like the morning glory, and we are confident in our steps, and we have left the cocoon. If you haven't left the cocoon, leave the cocoon. It's time. I knew this was going to be a good reading because of the cards that flew out. And it made me think of my mother and father. And I think this reading will probably make you feel like somebody in your family, like things you're trying to deal with and how to deal with them. Angels and ancestors had one thing to tell us: the medicine mother, honor your inner knowing. And I love this card. I mean, it's got the unity like glasses, the beauty and the calmness of her face. She is amazing. Take action. Do what you know you need to do. Mother always knows best, they say, and it's true. We all know a maternal figure who's extremely intuitive and insightful. And this medicine mother, inspired by West African tribal women, has gone through many ups and downs. She has lived and she has lost. She knows what it's like to suffer and to want to give up. So the medicine of this card is that it's okay to make mistakes and get it wrong sometimes. And it's okay for things to come to an end. It's not the end of the world. It's just the end of one chapter and the beginning of something new. The medicine mother reminds you that even though you will have low lows, you aren't here to suffer. You're here to be supported and to support others. Let her give you the loving encouragement to take the next step forward. That's very interesting that it said the next chapter, because I did have a vision of my father closing a book and he said, "This is your next chapter, kiddo." So that made a lot of sense to me, and it's telling me it's going to make a lot of sense to others that are going through situations like mine, because we are losing some of our family, and that is hard for some people. I mean, you loved them so much and there was so much in your life, and now boom. Guess what? You can meditate and you can think about them and they will come to you. Their energy is still there because they're still the soul. Just the avatar that you see is not there anymore. There is an old pattern rising up in your now, and it's time to deal with it and release it for good. You're being encouraged to love and respect yourself enough to take the steps you know you need to take to move closer to where you'd like to be. You already know the answer. You know what you need to do. You may have been using delaying tactics or holding back, but now you are being guided to take action. Action requires courage, but your angels and guides are bringing you the courage to move forward. Take just one step. When you do, the next one will be presented to you. I love that because that is, I just got like cosmic butterflies all through my heart, because this is everybody's mother, whether it was a father figure or a mother figure. It's the feminine compassion and nurturing right there. And that's what I'm feeling my mother is giving me. She's giving me from her soul the nurturing and the compassion that I need so much right now. I can feel her arms around me. And she is so proud of me. It's just that I'm channeling this right now. I'm hearing, I'm so proud of you and I love you so much. And we all need that every now and again. If not all is lost when a parent passes away, or a grandmother, or whatever, a best friend. It was their time to go, and it will be someday your time to go. Well, unless we learn how to go back and forth in the future and time travel. I'd love to time travel. That'd be a blast. And we got number 37. There's a 7, but it's a 10 and it's a 1. And it is that which is true will always be enough. Number 37. And there's the card right there that's telling us, look at the path in the water. And her eyes are seeing the crescent moon on her third eye, but look at her hair. It's the positive and negative. It's the polarity. It's the dark to light. It's going down the path and balancing yourself out. Yeah, this is such a beautiful card. And it's truth, honor, and empress integrity. Abundance happens when I honor my soul and live in truth. Beautiful card. The honest path, the honorable knight, the noble empress, the liberation of self. The highest view can be seen once we have reached the mountain peak. And what a breathtaking view it is. A grueling climb that requires strength and perseverance can lead to a feeling of total freedom. This is what it feels like to set yourself free by the power of truth, fulfillment on the level of soul and wholeness of self. Regardless of what the world may see, you have earned your own sight. The path to authenticity is not an easy one. There are temptations all around. The witch's lair calls you near. Dark forces seek to make you stray from your path, to neglect your true self, discard your values, and dishonor your soul. Some people will even choose the easy path, selling their soul in exchange for a shortcut to the top. This never works. This is the false self, the starving ego. For when they reach a peak, their view is obstructed by thick fog and mountain mist. They become cured by the one who lured them in. They will never see the view. Only living truly can earn this gift of sight and fulfillment. The card is about living with honor, integrity, and authenticity, and having goodwill towards humanity. The truth card is about living with honor, integrity, and authenticity, and having goodwill towards humanity. Being a real gem in the world of fake stones, shining by your own light rather than relying on the reflections of others. It is to validate yourself fully. It is to honor the calling and highest truth of your soul, even when faced with temptation. Drawing this card can be a sign that you are currently navigating this path. You are indeed on a quest for truth. Living authenticity have become a core value of yours. If you continue in search of his highest honor, you will surely be rewarded in priceless ways, perhaps. If you continue to live within the space of truth, you will achieve an abundance you never could have imagined. It is not dishonesty to wish for truth, wealth in the metaphysical and physical world. Visualize yourself on a peak of the mountain, imagining you feel total fulfillment, wholeness, and peace of mind. You are giving spirit a hug, even time you choose truth. Every time you choose truth. Truth is spirit and awaken. Authenticity is the language of the soul. Meditate on the concept of the universe and spirit. Reciprocate true abundance every time you choose to honor your soul. That's beautiful. That is a really positive affirmation today with the Magic Spirit Oracle. Now, I am going to read the Starseed Oracle that came out, and it's activated Earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. Yeah. Ley lines are invisible pathways on the land along which energy travels. They can be sensed when we tune into them with our subtle senses, also known as spirit paths. They've been compared to the meridian system of the body used in Chinese medicine, and they link sacred sites, stones, circles, burial mounds, and places of worship worldwide. In Australian Aber Aboriginal culture, a song lines where the path traveled by the Creator, being as they made the land and sea during the dreaming. These paths were recorded in the traditional songs and dances of the people. Allow them to access information about the land's history and to travel safely across great distances. Many believe that that as we visit such sacred points on earth, something is activated within us. Some also believe that by connecting with the land with devotion at these sacred places, something is activated within the planet too. Are you being called to travel to a sacred place that your soul remembers, or to tend the land you live on? To honor and acknowledge the known and unknown keepers or nature spirits of that land as you connect with the earth and honor its keepers. The land opens up more fully to hold you. The fruits provide more nourishment, and the guardians watch over you. Place this card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following: I honor and thank the keepers of the earth beneath me, known and unknown. Thank you for your nourishment and tender holding. And the page is a 33, which is a power number. So yeah, that's a beautiful card. That these are great messages for today. And I'm going to get into the tarot and the oracle for the collective. This is all for the collective. I'm sure some of my energy is in here, but I guarantee your energy is right there too. Now, the first card that we got was a 44, and it's strength. And we had the medicine mother. Now we got strength, which is like the father. Your true strength comes not from self-reliance alone, but from a sincere faith in a higher power. The strength to accomplish even the most daunting task is yours at this time. You can connect with and channel the power of the universe. The strength card indicates that your ideas are being tested and refined, and your relationships are being deepened. No matter what happens, nothing can move you off the course of evolution. As the potency of your connections become more obvious, you're able to harness the creative energies that are available to you. Have courage and dive in. The magic is in the process of finding a form to take. When you remember that real strength comes from a combination of your efforts and resilience on a higher power working through you, all is possible. You can do anything now. Yeah, you can. And she's showing you, she's holding the whole world up. But guess what? She's over here trying to grab the leaves that are floating with her leg and her other arm. So she's standing on the mountain and she's being strong instead of crying and like dodging it. She's 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 taking care of that. Now we got the Knight of Wands as a clarifier for the strength, and that makes sense. It's a man in a canoe with his best friend, his fur baby. My father, his best friends were his fur babies. He loved them. So I've got the mother and father card coming out here basically. Courage, courageous, energetic, charming, hero, rebellious, that tempered, free spirit. The Knight of Wands refreshes and represents adventure, pursuit, and passion. This card signifies the asker may be in a period where they are charging ahead with a creative project, explore the horizon that exists outside your comfort zone. The Knight of Wands can also indicate travel and the urge for adventure. It is time to embrace spontaneity and fearlessness. If travel is not possible, the asker is encouraged to try new activities and break free from their routine. I was just thinking about that the other day. I said, man, we all have a routine we do every day, every day, every day. Uh, Break it up a little bit. Be that rebel without a cause, but be a rebel with a cause. Okay, and then we got the 15. We got this a few weeks ago, I think, and it was upside down, I'm pretty sure, which is a 6. One ring circus, you are capable and competent. Independence is key now as you step into your journey today. Others may not have the vision or resources that you need. Recognize that all the wisdom you've acquired along the way makes you particularly competent, capable of moving forward with assurance. Self-reliance is important. Another aspect to consider is creating and maintaining clear boundaries between you and another. Be discerning about your partnership at this time. When you know who you are and have a healthy sense of where you end and others begin, you're able to enter into the best kind of relationship and will attract people who mirror back your wholeness. Relationships are always mutually supportive, stimulating, and transformative. You can achieve anything at this time. This is a positive reassurance for me at this point because I almost didn't want to do a reading because it was like, who loses both their parents in the same week? It's got to be a record. But it's a pretty good reading, and I'm kind of glad I did it because the 15, the one ring circus, brought up the 3 of Cups. Friendship, community, gathering, celebration, group events, social events. The 3 of Cups is a positive card that represents celebration, joy, and festivities. The current may have an up and coming celebration, whether it be a birthday, milestone event, or party. In career matters, the 3 of Cups indicates that the current's hobbies may become more important for them, their main profession. In addition, the card portends the appearance in their life of a person who can become a reliable friend and lover, and encouragement is also possible. Yeah, I'm seeing the 3 ring circus, but I'm also seeing, I seen the celebration with my mother and father the day after. But another thing too is I seen in a dream or vision when my father closed the book, he said, "That chapter's done, kiddo." And I can see him saying that. So my chapter with my parents is done. Now, how am I going to create my world now without my parents? With my little brother. That's where I'm going to create it. I got to be there for him. I promised my mom I would be there for him. Number 19, which is a 10, which is a 1, and it's Dragon's Lair. You are always protected and divinely directed. You have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment. You're about to enter dangerous territory, so tread carefully and be aware of your surroundings. The path you're on now is one that will challenge you to the core. That said, peril is also exciting and exhilarating. Like the danger you feel before you enter a new relationship, knowing that you'll be changed forever. A life lived fully isn't lived only in safety. A new experience is calling to you, one that will test your courage. The choice is yours, but there is greater value in risk taking than remaining unchallenged. New territories are waiting to be discovered. Yes, me and my husband are going to start going on more trips. We've done everything we can do with the property in our life and set up what we wanted to do. Now we're going to do just a little bit of traveling here and there and find some new roads to take. I want to go to Utah. I'd love to see Utah, and I see beautiful water and mountains and everything else. Now, the Dragon's Lair, we got the Empress, and this is the number three, which is, we started with the date, which is a divine number three, and we ended with the divine number. Divine feminine, sensuality, fertility, nurturing, creativity, beauty, abundance, and nature. The Empress shows us how deeply we are embodied in our femininity. Femininity can be associated with fertility, expression, creativity, and nurturing, among many other aspects. The Emperor's card could also mean the birth of a new idea, business, or project in your life. Owning to the good fortune that surrounds this card, you can be sure that such situations and projects in your would end successfully in your life. So that was a great reading. It was a positive reading. It wasn't so negative, and I was kind of worried about that because like you don't know how cards are going to come out, and sometimes you get those tower moments, which I've already had the tower moments, but you'll always have more tower moments. The last card we got, and I wanted to save this for the end because this is where we're going to be. This is what we are going to do. It's 33, which is a master number. So we're getting threes everywhere. This is, I am going to say, a totally divine message from beginning to end for all of us. All of us will get something out of it. Blueprint for 5D humanity. Remember your gifts and powers. Remember Peter Pan. The fifth dimensional paradigm embraces love, cooperation, peace, harmlessness, service, inclusively, and acting for your higher good. These qualities will allow the golden age to blossom. We will see a jump shift in our consciousness as the sixth root race of humanity emerges. It heralds another spurt of human evolution. The gift and power that are encoded into our 12 strands of DNA will all be available to us. However, these can only be activated when our planet is purified. It is currently undergoing purification, and when the waters are clear, the air clear, the land cleansed, and the people all have their 12 fifth dimensional chakras awakened and operational, the process of transformation will start. Telepathy, telekinesis, manifestation, clairvoyance, clairdescent, teleportation, levitation, regeneration, self-healing, total recall of our soul's journeys, and powers beyond our conception will all be commonplace. Act as if it is already the new golden future. The guidance is to connect with the great Lord El Moray, who originates from Mercury. He has now become the Manu, the perfect human, representing the sixth root. race of humanity. That's interesting. To prepare us for the golden future, his cells, chakras, and energy field hold the keys and codes of the people we are to become. He has unimaginable gifts and powers. El Morey invites you to bring in your 12 chakras and consciously practice love, peace, joy, gratitude, and acceptance until they become a habit. Watch your thoughts and emotions that make sure they are loving and positive. These are the first steps to encouraging your strands of DNA to uncoil, stretch out, relax, and connect. Practice divine attunement in deep relaxation right down to your cells to enable your psyche gifts, spiritual powers, and perfect health to come forward. El Marais will overlight you. So you will, okay, I just wanted to make sure that was it. You will be this and we will heal. So, oh boy, this was a really good reading, my family. So I hope this helps everybody. I can say that my strength right now is of my father and my mother, and my compassion is of both of them too, because my father helped a lot of people and had a lot. He was a very compassionate but strong man. And my mother was very compassionate towards her children and her family. And she was a beautiful matriarch of our family. And they're gone. So now we have to start our new journey. And I can see it on their face. My dad saying, "You go get it, kiddo," and my mom saying, "You got this, Fawn." So I am going to say that I am going to go do some more meditate. I've been doing a lot of meditation, and I need to. I'm kind of going into my hermit mode of observing and coming to fruition of what just happened in our world. So, I'm going to say it. I always do. I love everybody. May every step in your journey be magical. And you know what? Just be you.